freedom, jump and shout. Woo! If you want your freedom, jump and shout. Woo! If you want your freedom, if you want your freedom, if you want your freedom, jump and shout. Woo!
Hello, welcome to another SCLC program. SCLC, the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, SCLC Today. We are so happy that you join us again. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to give kudos, congratulations, motivation, thank you to none other than a leader in her own right. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Brenda Davenport, who put on such a great celebration of Miss Rosa Parks, who would have been 111 years of age, young. She was the dynamite. She was the explosion of exposure to bring about the Montgomery bus boycott. And I'd be remiss if I didn't say thank you to Miss Brenda Davenport. Brenda, great job. I'm following you, young lady. You're a great leader in your own right in the Black History Month at City Hall, Atlanta City Hall atrium, in the celebration of none other than Miss Rosa Parks of 111 years of age, if she would be living today. But she is. She's in the spirit of all of us. And I just want to thank none other than State Representative Carl Gilliard for his comments. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm including myself on this, we are pushing for a national holiday for none other than the historian of movement in terms of the historicity of where we come from, with the Rosa Parks story, CBS Move of the Week. I was a social producer, but this is what's going to be bigger than that. We're talking about a national holiday for none other than Miss Rosa Parks, who, to all degrees, need to have that type of recognition in terms of a national holiday. My. You know, speaking of the Rosa Parks story, when Dr. Steele Stewart from Alabama State University called me with none other than Miss Angela Bassett on the phone. Yeah, Angela Bassett, Dr. Steele Stewart, on the phone one Sunday morning and said, we have the opportunity to bring the Rosa Parks story to Montgomery. And brother, this going back to what you and others are doing, Miss Brenda Davenport. I want you to know that we're so appreciative. But on the phone with Dr. Steele Stewart and Miss Angela Bassett, they said, can you help us bring this story to Montgomery? I said, what does it take? They said $300,000. I said, what? Yes, I can do it. Didn't know how I was going to do it. How much time do I have? 72 days. Charles, if you don't get the movie to Montgomery, it will be done in Toronto, Canada, because of the incentives that they're giving the movie production and studio people in terms of bringing that movie there. But if you can raise $300,000 to get that movie to come to Montgomery, we appreciate it. The rest is history. We got it done with the help of some other people that got involved with me, and I'm very appreciative of that. Again, the celebration of Miss Rosa Parks at City Hall, Atlanta City Hall atrium. Chairperson, none other than Miss Brenda Davenport. Keep up the good work, Brenda. Also, I want to talk about State Representative Carl Gilliard pushing for the holiday as well. Listen what he said.
It is the mission is possible. You know, we've got leaders from all over the nation, and this defining moment, if we do something courageous, we'll move parties out of the way and color out of the way and do something for a lady that deserves to have a national recognition. There is not a national recognition for any lady, so it's not that she's a woman of color. It's a matter that she has done something that is right for Americans. And if it weren't for the Rosa Parks of this nation, we wouldn't have the opportunity to serve. So the mission is possible.
Thank you, Representative Carl Gilliard, for those comments. We're going to make sure that we support all causes, and particularly one such as a national holiday for Miss Rosa Parks. Speaking of recognition and birthdays and holidays. I just want to convey to none other than former Commissioner, my great leader, civil rights. I mean, this is a civil rights icon in his own right, Mr. John Evans, of the age of 91. He just turned 91 years young. Great fighter for justice and equality for all God's children. Got a history of it. John Evans, we just want to thank you, sir, for all that you have done, not only in the civil rights movement, but also in politics. You are to be recognized as a legend in its own right. And we just want to say thank you. Don't forget, this is Black History Month, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be talking about many topics, many issues. So stay tuned to SCLC Today, the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. I want to bring this to your attention. University of North Carolina just made a settlement with none other than Mr. Edward Bloom's organization. You know, the conservative type of organization, rather than using the racist term, I would say conservative. You decide for yourself what you want to call it. The same man that appealed to the U.S. Supreme Court and gutted the 1965 Voter Rights Act, Section 4 and Section 5, also in terms of the application of minorities being received at major or majority universities here in our country, went before the U.S. Supreme Court saying you cannot use race to any degree to the application of students applying for universities and colleges. It's reverse discrimination, it's reverse racism. You make the decision yourself. What I really want to convey to you today is that the University of North Carolina has made an agreement to pay 4.5 settlement to Mr. Bloom for expenses that was caused in terms of him challenging the right for blacks to be admitted to Harvard University and the University of North Carolina. And the U.S. Supreme Court agreed 5-4 with Mr. Bloom. Ladies and gentlemen, this is something you must pay attention to. These type of approaches from people from the conservativeness, I'm not going to use another word, conservativeness on what they are doing, saying reverse racism is what is wrong in terms of black Americans, African Americans, poor people, minorities, people of all ethnicity and background who has been discriminated against for over 400 years in terms of the democracy of America, who helped build this country, and we get less than 1/2 or 1% of the contracts, and also venture capitalists invested in us. They saying we should not be given an opportunity to be on an even playing field with the historicity of racism. Racism is a virus, and it's destroying America. When it destroys America, it destroys the world. What are we going to do? Are we going to stand up, or are we just going to whistle and talk about what showed up at the social gathering or social media or Facebook? Or are we going to get involved and have an impact and do what we can to resolve all of the racist concerns within our society? Dr. King said the 3 ills in America, in society: racism, poverty, and militaristic, the military, the law enforcement. Ladies and gentlemen, we got work to do. We have gone back many of years because of racism. The average white family makes $124,000 a year. African Americans on the average, 17. See you next week. We got the facts. God bless you.